more pain at the pumps, the jump in prices and the impact it's having on drivers. Sentencing arguments for a man who pleaded guilty in a fatal crash, how long he could spend behind bars. And giving a voice to Holocaust survivors in Saskatoon.
This is CTV News with Chantel Saunders.
Good evening. We begin tonight at the pumps. Filling up now costs 20 cents more a litre at most gas stations. Keenan Sorokon on the impact of escalating fuel costs on consumers and producers in Saskatchewan.
It's a bit of a kick in the pants.
That's how many people reacted to gasoline jumping by 20 cents a litre in the Saskatoon area beginning late Wednesday. And by mid-morning Thursday, many gas stations across the city were advertising fuel at $1.89.9 a litre.
It doesn't make anything better with cost of groceries and trying to, feed a family. And we live half hour to the city, so everything we have to come to the city, it's a little crazy.
$38 it cost me yesterday to fill back up again when I got back to Radisson. So it was $38 to come to Saskatoon and home again.
Some are hoping prices go down in time for summer road trips, while others are already rethinking the average trip.
It makes people think more about wasting fuel, trying to link up their errands so they're not going in, out, back and forth.
Farmers are especially feeling the pinch at the pump because unlike cedar fertilizer, you can't pre-order fuel.
Fuel has to be purchased and paid for on the day it gets delivered to your farm. So, there would be a significant cost increase for those ordering fuel today as opposed to yesterday.
Fuel prices haven't been this high since 2022, when the Russian invasion of Ukraine sent prices spiking. Analysts say the rising prices continue to be driven by the ongoing conflict in the Middle East. But now, unlike the crop, concern is growing, with input costs in the field continuing to rise with seeding delayed from repeated April snowfalls.
Farmers are really putting millions of dollars in the ground with no guarantee as to what their return's going to be in the fall harvest season.
Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
The Crown and Defence are recommending a 2-year sentence for a 25-year-old man responsible for a fatal crash in Saskatoon's Kelsey Woodlawn area nearly 2 years ago. As CTV's Stacey Hine tells us, during sentencing arguments today, court heard from the families of the crash victims whose lives will never be the same.
It's been really hard losing her so traumatically.
The family of 22-year-old Natalie Gardapi says their lives were forever changed by this crash on June 11th, 2024. That evening, a truck traveling at high speed down Quebec Avenue collided with an SUV, killing Gardapi and injuring 2 others, including Brandy Keenach, who was paralyzed.
We're going to live with this for the rest of our lives. We're just trying to get through the days, day by day, and it's been a struggle, but we're trying our best.
The man responsible for the crash, 25-year-old Wiley Vermette, pleaded guilty to 1 count of dangerous driving causing death and 2 counts of dangerous driving causing bodily harm. The Crown and Defence are jointly recommending a 2-year sentence for Vermette. With 5 days credit for time served, he would serve the sentence in a provincial jail. He would also receive a 7-year driving prohibition.
We look forward to obviously closing this chapter. Mr. Vermette's ready to go into custody, and we know Justice Lebac's going to consider our submissions, and we're hopeful that he obviously agrees with the joint disposition, but we'll be ready for anything.
While Vermette has no prior criminal record, the Crown says he has a significant driving record, including 9 infractions for speeding. The court also heard victim impact statements, many mentioning Gardapi's son and the milestones she'll miss, including teaching him to ride a bike and seeing him graduate. Keenach says she has lost her independence and now lives with family, while her aunt has stepped up to raise her 2 children. The families say the proposed sentence falls short.
2 years in a correctional facility is basically nothing to me.
Honestly, I don't think it's good enough.
At the end of the hearing, Vermette stood up and said he made a mistake and he's trying to take responsibility. The sentencing decision has been reserved until June 19th. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A former Saskatchewan Mountie convicted of killing his former lover will spend less time behind bars. In 2024, Bernie Herman was convicted of manslaughter in the 2021 shooting death of Braden Herman. The two were not related. During his trial, court heard Bernie Herman was in uniform at the time of the killing and left Braden's body in a wooded area near Prince Albert. Herman was originally charged with first-degree murder before that was downgraded to second-degree murder. The Crown appealed to overturn Herman's conviction of the lesser charge of manslaughter. Herman also appealed his conviction and his sentence. Both conviction appeals were denied, but a judge did set aside Herman's original 11-year sentence, imposing one of 7 years, 2 months, and 9 days instead. A new photography exhibit is now open in downtown Saskatoon. And as CTV's Laura Woodward reports, it gives voice to the survivors of one of history's deadliest genocides.
My mom was born in Montreal. They ended up making their way to Calgary.
Dahlia Libin shares the story of her late grandmother and Holocaust survivor Sonia Kravitz, how she tore off the yellow star Jews were forced to wear and escaped into the forests of Poland to survive. Kravitz's story is one of 20 featured in this new photography exhibit at the Francis Morrison Library.
We're soon to be in a world without any Holocaust survivors, and so it's our obligation to make sure that stories are continued to be shared.
The exhibit started in Calgary. All the survivors have a connection to Western Canada.
The Holocaust, it didn't start with murdering. It started with words. It started with hate. It started with the erosion of critical thinking. We need to reflect on what took place during those very dark years.
Libin says the installation is especially important today.
Right now, there's a big rise in anti-Semitism, Jew hatred.
She says that fear kept some survivors from participating. For visitors like Seth Schachter, the exhibit offers an opportunity to connect with survivors, making the history feel personal.
The stories are so very deeply touching and personal and human.
Leaving a lasting message.
We can't allow it to ever happen again.
The exhibit is free and open during library hours until June 2nd. Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Well, Jeff, I've been saying this a lot lately, but we should enjoy the next few days.
Well, yes, we should always carpe diem, seize the day. We should always take advantage of the time we have. But there's certainly, it makes it a little easier when the weather's nice. And we do have some warm conditions. We had them today above seasonal temperatures, tomorrow and into the weekend. And then things change a little bit on Monday and Tuesday. But that's true of pretty much right across the province. But right now, really quite quiet conditions across the prairies. This high-pressure ridge is marching its way, or certainly moving eastward, and we are under this warm dome of air. And it is, I think, pretty welcome for a lot of people to talk about how warm it is and how long it'll be sticking around later on.
The Saskatchewan Health Authority is alerting the public about whooping cough in Prince Albert. It says a person who had the illness was recently at the emergency department of Victoria Hospital. Anyone who was at the ER on April 19th between 3 p.m. and 10 p.m. should closely monitor for symptoms, which can take up to 20 days to experience. Whooping cough, also known as pertussis, is most serious in children younger than 1 year and pregnant women who are in their last trimester. In both circumstances, it can cause severe illness or death. Early signs include sneezing, runny nose, a fever, and cough. The cough often causes severe coughing spells with a whooping sound. Young babies may not have these exact symptoms, so it's important for parents and caregivers to watch for the illness. The SHA is reminding people pertussis can be prevented by a vaccine given in childhood and in grade 8. The provincial government has decided not to provide real-time information on rural emergency room closures. 2 weeks ago, the government gave tentative approval to a bill brought forward by the NDP. Wayne Mantika explains why the province reversed its position.
2 weeks ago, the government and opposition stood together in voting tentative approval to providing the public with real-time information about emergency room availability.
Those in favor of the motion, please stand.
It was to prevent rural residents from driving to closed ERs. Now the government has changed its mind about hourly updates on the SHA website.
MLA mode?
No. Currently, the government posts emergency room closure information once daily. It's willing to up that to twice a day.
The Saskatchewan Health Authority to increase the frequency of those notifications, going to updates at both 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. every single day on the website.
The opposition feels the public is entitled to the most current information available.
The government has this information at their fingertips. They've told us that EMS knows whether or not the local emergency is, the hospital is open or closed. So if EMS knows, then clearly SHA knows.
The government suggests that there are operational issues.
I think, eventually we will get closer to real-time information. But at this point, this is what's workable.
There are other alternatives. 811 can provide callers with the most current information on where emergency services are available. Wayne Mantika, CTV News, Regina.
The province is spending $115,000 to train hospitality and tourism workers to identify signs of human trafficking.
This training is about awareness and action. It gives hospitality workers the tools to recognize the warning signs of human trafficking.
Human trafficking happens when a person is controlled or harmed for another person's profit. The province says hotel workers are often best positioned to recognize and report human trafficking. The funding comes from the National Action Plan to End Gender-Based Violence. Ottawa has announced funding for Saskatchewan's technology sector. The federal government is providing $7.8 million, which will see $4.1 million go toward organizations using and developing artificial intelligence in Saskatchewan. The other $3.7 million will go to CO Labs as it strengthens partnerships, enhances ag tech programming, and to deliver 3 conferences aimed at connecting startups to venture capital and investors to help tech businesses grow. Ottawa also announced support for 5 other businesses and organizations working to develop artificial intelligence in Saskatchewan.
I think remarkable to see is the ecosystem being built here in the prairies that looks at problems that the prairies see daily. How to deal with agriculture, how to deal with crop yields, how to deal with resource extraction, and to put new technology to those traditional industries.
Other organizations getting support are Coconut Software Corporation, Vendesta Technologies, Home Team Live Technologies, the University of Regina, and Artificial Intelligence Saskatchewan Corp. City crews will be starting to clean residential streets next week. The City of Saskatoon says its residential street sweeping will begin on Monday as they've been able to get a jump on early season work on major routes. Residents should notice yellow no parking signs at least 36 hours before sweeping begins in their area. Vehicles must be moved off the street in affected areas by 7 a.m. the day of the sweeping to allow crews to get close to the curbs. Those left in restricted areas will be ticketed and relocated. Street sweeping could be affected by the weather and may have to be rescheduled. You can see a list of sweep dates on the city's website. Meanwhile, residents of several east side neighborhoods will experience reduced water pressure for a little longer. Construction on the Acadia Drive primary water main project began on March 23rd, and it was expected to take 8 weeks. But the city now says because of the weather, the work will need to be done another couple of weeks, and that will last until June 1st. The water remains safe to consume and to use for cleaning and washing. 9 people are set to receive the 2026 Saskatchewan Order of Merit. The Saskatoon recipients include Anne Doig, who has served as a family doctor and was president of the Canadian Medical Association between 2009 and 2010. Also from Saskatoon, Phoebe Voits, who in 1996 founded the Saskatoon Children's Choir. Saskatoon engineer Harold Orr being recognized for his work in energy efficiency and conservation in homes. Prince Albert's Donnie Peranto also among the Order of Merit recipients. Peranto is an award-winning Métis musician, educator, and community leader. Artist Lionel Payachu of the Red Pheasant Cree Nation is being recognized. He is best known for his public sculptures and paintings. Saskatchewan's former Privacy Commissioner Ronald J. Kruzanitsky also among the recipients. He has also served as the Chief Commissioner of the Saskatchewan Human Rights Commission. From Regina, Raymond B. Blake is receiving the honor. He is considered one of the province's most distinguished historians. Chris Seekong of Regina also being recognized posthumously for his work as a neurosurgeon serving southern Saskatchewan for 4 decades. And Melissa Morgan, also from the Queen City, she serves as an associate professor of music at the University of Regina. SaskTel has come on board as the new sponsor of the free performances at this year's Sask Jazz Festival. Organizers making that announcement this morning. People can watch shows at no cost throughout the festival at various locations, including Victoria Park, the Alt Hotel, among others. The TD Sask Jazz Festival runs July 5th to the 11th. Still to come, why Canada will be home to a new multinational bank. Also, the latest on 2 children missing from Nova Scotia for almost a year. You're watching CTV News live from downtown Saskatoon. Thanks for staying with us. 2 siblings from Nova Scotia have been missing for almost a year. The 4- and 6-year-olds are believed to have wandered into the woods away from their rural home, leaving behind just a couple of clues. Since then, there have been no sightings. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth has more on where the investigation is at.
The 1-year anniversary of the disappearance of Jack and Lily Sullivan is fast approaching, and the RCMP realizes the public expects answers.
Our investigators feel the pressure.
On May 2nd of last year, Jack and Lily disappeared from their home in Lansdowne Station. Following numerous searches, only a pink blanket and a boot were found, and police say there is no evidence of abduction.
This investigation was always going to take time. There has been a lot of tips.
106 people have been interviewed. Police have received almost 1,200 tips. Staff Sergeant Rob McCammon is now asking the public for fact-based tips.
We just need facts and evidence.
This criminology professor says in cases like this, police can get bogged down with online social media speculation.
If they don't follow up, they'll be blamed. If they do follow up and nothing comes from it, ironically, they're still blamed.
On Sunday, volunteers were back searching the heavily wooded area in Lansdowne Station, but there are no plans for the RCMP to resume a formal search.
We appreciate the efforts from the different groups that are trying to support our community.
Boudreau says in a missing persons case, the first 72 hours of the search are crucial.
And now that we are a year in, it makes it even more desperate.
Which is why McCammon is realistic about a positive outcome.
I think the chances that Jack and Lily are alive are very slim.
In addition to interviewing more than 100 people and responding to numerous tips, the RCMP have also administered polygraph tests to family members, people living in Lansdowne Station and the surrounding area. But after 1 year, they still can't say what happened to Jack and Lily Sullivan. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
Canada is about to be headquarters for a new multinational bank focused on defense and global security needs. It's a new venture that will help smaller companies get big loans to grow. Judy Trin takes a closer look at how the bank will work.
As NATO nations ramp up to spend 5% of their GDP on defense by 2035, a new multinational bank with headquarters in Canada is being created to help smaller companies access loans to expand.
By pooling together, we're stronger financially, and it's a testament to Canada's reputation, Canada's commitment, Canada's financial expertise.
The Defense, Security and Resilience Bank could consist of as many as 40 NATO nations and allies, all contributing to a funding pool of $135 billion U.S. You have in the Ottawa office? This Ottawa technology company uses AI to help the Royal Canadian Navy analyze the moves of enemy ships. Anvil wants to expand to Europe and is hoping the multinational defense bank will open doors.
Having people who have walked that path before and can help guide successful companies like ours through that path, I think that's a major benefit for Canada, and I'm very hopeful that the DSRB will be will be one of those conduits.
Where in Canada the Defence Bank will be located hasn't been determined, but the lobbying has already begun from Vancouver to Montreal to Toronto.
We have all the banks here, the financial sector here.
The national capital is also making a case.
We're the home of 130 plus foreign missions and embassies. The World Bank is in Washington. It's not in New York City. This is the place where defense innovation is happening.
At this point, no start date for the bank has been set, and it's also unclear how much each member nation, including Canada, will contribute to the pool of funds. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Donald Trump has approved a proposed pipeline that could increase Canada's crude exports to the U.S. by more than 12%. The U.S. president signed an order today authorizing the pipeline that would transport Canadian oil across the border at Montana down to Wyoming. The company that would build the pipeline says it would have the capacity to move more than 1 billion barrels per day. Canada supplies more crude to the U.S. than any other country, 1.64 billion barrels last year. Iran's supreme leader struck a defiant tone this morning in a written message to the U.S. that was read on state television.
قول قوه الهی آینده درخشان منطقه خلیج فارس آینده بدون آمریکا.
In the statement, the leader said, quote, the bright future of the Persian Gulf region will be a future without America. He also wrote that Iran will protect its nuclear and missile capabilities as a national asset. Meanwhile, there is diplomatic tension between Tehran and Ottawa heading into the World Cup. Iranian Soccer Federation President Mahdi Taj was denied entry to Canada earlier this week at Pearson Airport. An Iranian news outlet says he was given a visa but was turned away because he is a former member of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, which Canada classifies as a terrorist entity. Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand says it is her understanding that permission to enter Canada was revoked unintentionally. The three-man delegation has now gone home. They were headed to Vancouver for FIFA Congress, which began today. And at that gathering, FIFA's president says Iran will play World Cup games in the U.S. despite the war between the two nations.
The reason for that is very simple, dear friends, is because we have to unite. We have to bring people together. It is my responsibility, it is our responsibility. Football unites the world.
Iran will play all three of its matches in the U.S., 2 in Inglewood, California, near Los Angeles, and 1 in Seattle. It's the only nation not at the pre-tournament FIFA Congress that brings together each of the 211 federations in soccer's governing body.
Hello, Saskatchewan. We're Time Bistro Boutique, located in Watson. This Sunday, May 3rd, join us from 1 to 4 p.m. to explore Floral Fever, a vibrant art exhibit with the opportunity to meet the artist, Nicole Peterson. Speaking of, what's Sunday weather looking like, Jeff?
Well, Chris, things are looking pretty good, quite frankly, and as good as the artwork from Nicole. And in complete transparency here, Nicole used to work with us here at CTV Saskatoon, so it's great to see her artwork being displayed in my hometown. So a wonderful situation coming up. Now, this art is on display until the 31st of May, but this Sunday is when you can actually meet Nicole and talk to her about her artwork. That's between 1 and 4, as Chris was saying. 17 degrees on Sunday in Watson, partly cloudy skies. Once again, the exhibition is called Floral Fever, and you can see it until the end of the month. End of next month, meaning May 31st in Watson. That's not a picture of Watson. It's just one of the few rural pictures I have in my collection here. Anyhow, let's move on to our numbers. 18 degrees in Saskatoon right now, 12 in Prince Albert, and 19 in the Battlefords. And as you can see, a little breezier in Prince Albert than it is in Saskatoon and the Battlefords right now. The almanac for Saskatoon, not bad at all. 19 or 18 degrees. 15 is typical, so 3 degrees above seasonal. And we take a look at our warm temperature record, though. Wow, it happened 3 times. There was a tie at 26 degrees in 1926, 57 and 68. The record cold temperature, yes, it's 1893, minus 13 for the last day of April. And the sun is going to go down at 8:30.
Coming up, cheering the Oilers from down under, the unlikely fans pushing them through the playoffs.
Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We can pay your bills with a massive $20,000. You got your daily code word. Watch and win with Your Morning.
Here we go with a big blue sky. A few wispy clouds out there, but all in all, it's been a pretty darn pleasant day. A spring day. You know, we get those now. Just emphasis on the word now because we have a little bit of a change coming. We'll talk about that in a bit, but let's take a look and see what we've got going on with our satellite and radar shot here. And the answer is not much. A little bit of active weather, you know, in some parts of British Columbia, but it's just popping up here and there and really not adding up to a whole lot. There's a cold front that's going to slide through Saskatchewan as we make our way into the next 24 hours. You might see a little active weather, particularly up in the northern part of Saskatchewan, but we'll talk about that in a second or two. Here's just a number recap. Here we go. 18 degrees in Saskatoon, 12 in Prince Albert, 19 in the Battleford. So yeah, Prince Albert's been lagging behind, but they are going to be getting some warm temperatures as we roll into tomorrow. Waseca was the hot spot today at 19 degrees. Sandy Bay, -8. That was the provincial cold spot. Around the province we go. We've got ourselves 19 degrees in Lloydminster, 14 in Swift Current, Moose Jaw, and Regina, 12 in Estevan, and 11 in Yorkton. Into central parts of the province, temperatures ranging quite a lot, quite frankly. It's just 6 degrees in Nipawin, 7 in Melfort, but it does warm up to 19 in the Battlefords, but 16 in Kindersley and Meadow Lake, 15 in Watchers, 13 in Wynyard. And up north, still some double-digit temperatures in play. In fact, only Collins Bay on this part of our map isn't into double digits, so temperatures basically around 10 or 11 degrees in this chunk of the north. And as we make our way into the Southland, 17 degrees right now in Maple Creek, 16 in Outlook and Last Mountain Regional Park. It's 12 in Broadview and Carlisle, 11 in Melville. Now we take a look at our futurecast. Well, just as I mentioned, there's that little system that you can sort of see the edge of that cold front sliding through northern Saskatchewan. And on the extreme northern part, you might see a little bit of purple or pink in there. And well, that could be some rain or a rain-snow mix, but mostly if it shows up, it's going to be rain. And there could be a little something along the along the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border. But again, spotty in nature. Cloudy skies for La Ronge, but there's a chance of some showers in Stony Rapids and Key Lake. We saw that with the futurecast. 9 degrees in Stony Rapids. Otherwise, we're looking at double-digit temperatures. Temperatures in the high teens, low 20s in west central Saskatchewan. In fact, mid-20s. Look at that. Rosetown at 25 big degrees on Friday. Warm in the southwest with temperatures hovering around 24 degrees with sunny or mainly sunny skies. Mainly sunny and 20 in Estevan. Moose Jaw, Regina, and Yorkton are all mainly cloudy, but those temperatures are pretty nice. 19 in Yorkton, 22 in Regina, 23 in Moose Jaw. And temperatures of around 20 degrees for Melfort, Watrous, and Humboldt under mainly cloudy skies. Still nice at 17 in Hudson Bay. Now on to the details for the Battlefords. Mainly clear skies tonight, 1 degree, 23 degrees tomorrow as we take a look at mainly sunny skies, and then 20 on Saturday, 19 on Sunday, and then, whoa, 9 degrees. Yeah, the cold air is being blown in on Sunday, but 9 degrees on Monday, but getting back to above seasonal temperatures midweek. For Prince Albert and area, -1 degree overnight. Tomorrow, some morning fog, mainly cloudy skies, 16 degrees, and then we roll into the weekend, temperatures of 15 or 16 degrees, but dropping off around 8 degrees on Monday and Tuesday, but rebounding on Wednesday, 1 week from today, 18 degrees. And Saskatoon's overnight temperature, 3 degrees, so on the plus side, I know. And then tomorrow, 23 big degrees, winds out of the southwest at 20, quite a lovely day. Temperature staying on the warm side of seasonal on Saturday and Sunday, but cooling off a bit on Monday, but starting to rebound by the mid part of the week.
I was not in the least drunk, Ruth. Something happened to me last night. Something very peculiar happened to me.
Nonsense.
Noel Coward's Blithe Spirit is the latest offering from Persephone Theatre. This silly supernatural romantic comedy is on stage until May 10th. Friday and Saturday, the Basement plays host to the 25th edition of the Saskatoon Blues Festival. Presented by the Saskatoon Blues Society, performers include the Shakura Seda Band, the Brandon Isaac Trio, Harrison Kennedy, and Charlie Jacobson.
I bought environmentally friendly ant killer. Yeah, it was so friendly it never worked.
Friday and Saturday night, stand-up comic Ron James will be live on stage at the Broadway Theatre. The 21st edition of Synergy, the International Francophone Film Festival of Saskatoon, is on now and continues until Sunday at the Roxy Theatre.
SportsCenter died when Jay and Dan left. Exactly.
Exactly. You watch. Every day while I got the kids ready for school.
25th Street Theatre is taking you on a journey with Behind Closed Doors. 6 short plays written by local artists performed in 6 unique Saskatoon locations, as varied as SMF Field and a bus parked at the U of S.
Hi, Emily. It's your Aunt Agatha. Just checking to see if you're home yet. Bye for now.
The Saskatoon run of the award-winning documentary Agatha's Almanac has been extended. This portrait of a highly independent 90-year-old can be seen at the Roxy Theatre until Tuesday.
Nice to meet you, Fred. What do you do, Fred? Not much, okay. Honest. Is there anyone I can talk to that does something?
Saturday night, Tom Green's Stompin' Comedy Tour lands at TCU Place. Get set for jokes, stories, and music. Royal Wood and Fortunate Ones are set to perform Sunday evening at the Broadway Theatre. The music starts at 7 o'clock.
Well, Jeff, May the 4th is coming.
Yes, and Anna can't wait. Well, Monday happens to be May the 4th, and for many, not all, but for many Star Wars fans, it's a big deal, and Heidi Fisher is one of those individuals. So, Heidi, great to see you again.
Nice to see you, Jeff. It's great to be here.
So, you work with the Schizophrenia Society, and this is a fundraiser you do every year, screening a particular Star Wars film on May the 4th. Which one is it going to be this year?
Well, let me set the stage for you, Jeff. The year was 1999. I was in grade 10, and you were also in grade 10.
Yeah.
And the movie that came out that year was The Phantom Menace.
All right, so The Phantom Menace, Chapter 1 in the Star Wars saga. This happens on Monday. What time do things get rolling? Because it's more than just a movie.
Yeah, so at 6 o'clock, we have folks from the 501st and Rebel Legion joining us, so you can get your pictures with them. And then we also have a raffle, so that's valued at over $1,000. You can purchase your tickets at the event. And then, the movie starts at 7.
That sounds great. Well, you know what? It's going to be a great evening helping to raise money and awareness for the Schizophrenia Society of Saskatchewan. Let's see what Darth says the weather's going to be like.
Don't underestimate the dark side.
Okay, I like his forecast better.
Well, it's pretty much spot on. It's going to be a little colder than we had anticipated.
This is true. All right, time for Pick of the Day, and we are heading outdoors.
We certainly are. We're going to start off with this one. It's kind of a neat story. It's a nice shot of some clouds. It looks sort of expansive there. And Dawn says, late afternoon sky just south of Saskatoon. It did have the appearance of 2 angels, but by the time I could capture this without any power lines in it, this was what it was. Well, it still looks pretty cool, Dawn, but I understand the frustration of trying to get away from the power lines when you're taking a picture. Next one from Lori. This is from Wednesday. This little guy visited us at the Wheatland Express Museum in Waka. Spring, maybe? Maybe. I guess that butterfly knows. And finally, there you go. Joan sends us this. Good day, Jeff and Chantel. It was a beautiful sunset. I had to capture our lovelies and their silhouettes. That is a beautiful shot, and those are some good-looking horses as well. And if you'd like to share an image with us, you can do so by sending it to cfqcnews@ctv.ca, or you can scan the QR code on the screen, and that'll help you get those pictures to us.
Still to come on CTV News, the Aussies excited over the Oilers. What attracted them to cheer on an Alberta team? The Oilers take on the Anaheim Ducks tonight, where they have to win to stay alive. 2 huge fans who will be watching don't live in Edmonton or even Alberta. As Evan Kenny reports, they are cheering from 16 time zones away.
For fans across the globe, the Edmonton Oilers are worth getting up for.
Sometimes the games are as early as 5 a.m., which we don't mind as well. We get up early.
I watch them on my phone at the beach.
Georgia and Ammon Chesworth are 2 Oilers fans from Gold Coast, Australia.
We've just come to see our neighbours and see what their thoughts are on the game so far. So what do you think, guys?
Georgia's mom is from Alberta and brought her love of the team with her when she moved down under.
I did grow up with a photo of Wayne Gretzky on my fridge. And she would refer to him as her boyfriend, and that was my introduction to the Oilers and hockey.
Ammon married into the fandom and has had oil in his veins ever since. He never misses a game.
If I'm on site, I've got it on my phone playing, and all the boys are just listening in and forcing them to be Oilers fans too.
He's known as the local superfan and an honorary member of Oil Country.
The day I was actually getting it done, the Oilers were playing too, so I had that on my phone and I was watching there.
The two started posting about their love for the Oilers on social media.
Edmonton is so crazy and fun during the playoff season, and we would love to be there, but unfortunately we are here.
Hoping to find more Aussies to watch the games with, they say they want to recreate Edmonton's atmosphere.
Put ourselves in that environment and surround ourselves with so many passionate fans would just be incredible, and kind of share that enthusiasm and that passion.
The team saw the Chesworths' passion and reached out.
They were excited to see us cheering them on from all the way over here. They said that they're sending us something to help cheer them on.
They say if the Oilers make the finals for a third year in a row, they want to take in a game in person.
Play La Bamba, baby!
Evan Kenny, CTV News, Edmonton.
When we come back, hundreds of people pack Prairieland Park to support the Huskies, and a new way to get around up in the air.
Here we go. We've got ourselves a beautiful day setting up for our rural forecast. The numbers are looking fantastic. Look at this. 19 degrees for Meadow Lake, 21 for Spiritwood and Lloydminster, 23 in Kindersley, 24 in Outlook. Yes, it's roasty and it's toasty. And look at this. Hudson Bay still finally getting in on the action in terms of being above seasonal. 17 degrees in Hudson Bay, 18 in Wynyard. Making our way down south. Well, look at this. 20s across the board, not quite. We've got ourselves 19 in Carlisle, 18 in Kenora. Otherwise, temperatures in the 20s. And look at that, Maple Creek getting up to 25, 24 in Litre. How are things in Edam? Well, Edam's going to be not bad at all. 21 degrees, partly cloudy skies or mainly cloudy conditions. Winds out of the southwest at 20, so a pleasant summer-like day in Edam. And Edam is one of those places where internet plans of up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel.
The Prince Albert Raiders are coming back to Saskatchewan, tied with the Medicine Hat Tigers.
Here's Coots up the left side for Oiring, who didn't have a lane in, so he'll drop it back for Rudolph, who skates in. Rudolph to the middle, fires, scores!
Daxon Rudolph scored twice on the power play as the Raiders beat the Tigers in Medicine Hat last night, 6-3. Both teams have won and lost in their own buildings. Game 5 goes tomorrow night in Prince Albert. Food and football were on the menu at Prairieland Park this morning. Around 1,400 people were on hand for the annual U of S Huskies Dogs Breakfast. The event is put on by the Husky Football Foundation, which raises money for scholarships and academic assistance for the U of S Huskies football team. In addition to highlighting new recruits for the Huskies, this year saw Riders head coach Corey Mace, Glenn Suter from TSN, and CFL legend Mike Pinball Clemens speak about football and the importance of the Huskies program.
This is immense for us. I mean, it means a ton. We're going to raise north of $120,000 for scholarships for our young men. You know, at the end of the day, we ask them to do a lot, and if we can help them with a little bit of financial reprieve from their academic journey, you know, we're going to do that. And the support here today for the program for these young men is just awesome. Appreciate it.
The Dogs Breakfast is one of the largest football fundraising events in Canada and also brings together some former Huskies who have gone on to careers in the CFL. CFL Commissioner Stuart Johnston was also at the Dogs Breakfast this morning. Mike Siona caught up with him and asked him about the recent changes to the playoff format, which will see 8 of the 9 teams reach the postseason. It will also require each team to win at least 2 games to reach the Grey Cup game.
We love it because it really is going to reward regular season performance. Seeding is going to be so important. Top 2 teams in each division are going to play off in a seeding round, and the winner is going to get a bye to the Grey Cup semifinals. It's the race to land in 5 through 8 is going to be significant because home field advantage in our league means as much as any other league. 80% of all playoff games are won by the home team, so I can't wait to get that going.
The new playoff format, which will be used starting in 2027, also moves back the regular season schedule to start on May long weekend, with the Grey Cup being played the first week of November. A few transactions for the Riders today. The team picking up Jalen Johnson, who spent time with the Los Angeles Chargers, while also announcing the departure of a former Saskatchewan Husky. Linebacker Seth Hundaby, a 2025 CFL draft pick, signed a deal with the Riders in November after a standout senior season with the U of S. But the team now says Hundaby has informed them of his retirement from pro football. He intends to pursue a professional opportunity outside of the game. Brokenville's Jessica Campbell is stepping away from the Seattle Kraken, opting to explore other NHL coaching roles. Campbell had been with the organization since 2022 as an assistant coach in the AHL, moving up to the Kraken in 2024 when she made history as the first woman to be hired as a full-time NHL coach. The Kraken GM said the team respects her decision to leave as her contract expires and that they believe in her strongly as a coach in the league. Real gross domestic product was up 0.2% in February. Morella Fernandez brings those details.
Manufacturing was strong in February. It expanded by 1.8%. That's the largest monthly expansion for manufacturing since January 2023. In that sector, both machinery and transportation equipment did well. There was also more crude production in Saskatchewan and Newfoundland and Labrador. Real GDP for March is expected to be flat. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar's up to 73.62. West Texas Intermediate is up to 105.07. Western Canadian Select up another $4 to 82.76. And the TSX bounced back today, spiking 645 points. Those are your business headlines. I'm Morella Fernandez.
Turning to local gas prices now, the average price in Saskatoon is up to $1.87 a litre. The lowest price in town, $1.60.9. On Saskatchewan markets, Cameco jumped more than $10 and Nutrien finished the day at $103.25. Coming up, Banksy provides us with another mystery. Then testing a new kind of taxi.
Select Hair Services brought to you by Sage, the beauty bar.
Get comfortable and settle in with these top shows all right here tonight on CTV. Well, the mysterious street artist known as Banksy is at it again. The artist posted this video, which appears to show the statue being placed in the historic Waterloo Place Plaza in London. It depicts a suited man with his chest puffed out, about to walk off the platform with his face blinded by the flag that he is carrying. Banksy's signature appeared on the piece. Can't wait for the documentary someday that explains it all, right?
Well, I think I think there is a Banksy.
Is there?
I think there's a Banksy documentary. Isn't that Exit Through the gift shop?
I don't know.
I think so.
If so, I have to look into it, obviously. All right. A new mode of travel in New York City is one step closer to becoming a reality. Electric air taxis are being tested by Joby Aviation. The goal of these taxis is to fly passengers from JFK Airport into Manhattan in about 10 minutes. The flights are quiet and emission-free. There are no passengers yet, as pilots are still testing them out. Commercial service could launch as early as next year.
Yes, they're air taxis or big drones.
Well, they kind of look like it.
Yeah, I know, that's exactly what they do. But hey, I don't even know how long it takes you to get from JFK to downtown Manhattan. But
longer than 10 minutes.
Well, I'm guessing it's a lot longer.
And you get a nice view, too.
Exactly. A beautiful view of the Big Apple, Johnny. Let's take a look and see what we've got going on with our numbers tomorrow. And you can take a bite out of these because it's pretty sweet. See what I did there? Thank you. 11 degrees at 9 a.m., 17 at noon with big time sunshine, and mid-afternoon about 23 degrees, 22 at 5 o'clock. So it looks like it's barbecuing Friday.
Yes, this is true. We'll enjoy it while it lasts because it won't last that long. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. It's true.